Okay, folks, it is time for episode 28 here in the challenge series. Recording's been slow. League racing has been filling up the vast majority of my schedule, so... yeah. Seriously, I league race 4 days out of the week. And I have optional league races on 2 other days. It's a mess. In between that and the occasional very hot day where I have to run the air conditioner, there really isn't a lot of time to record right now. I have Tuesdays and Thursdays where I don't have anything to do, basically. I choose to do nothing on Sundays, even though there's an option for it. Or Saturdays, not Sundays. Sundays I definitely have something to do. It's on this game. But anyway, challenge series. Right, you're not here to hear me rant about league racing stuff. I just make videos for that in its own right. So, you know. Anyway, let's just go to race 1. We have arrived for the first round in episode 28. It is a 640 class event at Interlagos. My voice sounds a little bit low. It's because I woke up not too long ago, and it hasn't quite warmed up yet. My voice is like an engine. You have to use it for a few minutes before it heats up. It reaches optimal temperatures or some shit. On board with Marvin Manuel, who just 1 episode ago had his... oh, hello. Dive bomb maneuver, just shoved Nitori out of the way. I'm sure she loves that, or I'm sure he loves you for that. Where are you going? Okay, Manuel is just making a new layout. This is his own track, you'd think he'd know it. It's the one relevant track in Brazil, being driven on by the one Challenge Series driver from Brazil. So, here we are. Okay. I mean, I guess there was no contact, but I mean, I think that was more or less just because Drinkwater was so startled he couldn't even think about putting up a defense. Obstructed. Wait a minute. Yeah, okay, I'm right, we're on 28. My brain just had like a moment where I thought I like forgot to record an episode. But no, this is the newest. Ironically, there's a lot of stuff from the last episode that's also here. We raced Interlagos in 27, and Manuel appeared in the final race of 27, and he's the first race in 28. In case you just hadn't had enough of this Mines R32. Quite a decently sized pack here, including 2 trucks, a Volkswagen Beetle, 2 Nissans, and an old Mustang. Only in the Challenge Series, because could that be the top 7? I mean, there's also 2 Nissans and an Alfa Romeo, but that's just kind of boring compared to the rest of the other 4 cars up here. Takane is as much in the same boat as Marvin Manuel, where they haven't really been in many races lately, so some of the drivers around here have kind of forgotten they were even here at all. Oh, hello, Thrasher. Good lord above. Uh-oh, what the fuck? The skyline is gone! What the hell happened there? He broke a little early into turn 1. Thrasher just sends it. And, oh. Oh, shit! Yeah, the thing's not moving. Thrasher just kinda got a tank slapper, as they call that. I mean, this move was crazy. Look at where he is compared to everyone else when he slams the brakes. I get it, he's trying to stop a very heavy truck, but he also gets back on the throttle to get down the inside and then overcooks it. Manuel wanted to cross him over, but he basically managed to slide in place, and there you have that. Apparently the other drivers are electing to not continue post-red flag. I believe out of concern for Manuel, as he's just had an absolutely brutal... It's not a very high-speed impact, but it's straight into that barrier, so... I guess that will do it for Race 1 here in the Challenge Series. Red flags, like any other sport, any other motorsport, they kind of just go off of how they ran at the time. So, Thrasher's the winner, followed by Houston, Takane, Minami, Kingsley, Scarborough, Nishikino, Moria, Trevor Graham, and Honoka rounds out the top 10. We are here for the second race of the episode. The Lake Maggiore Circuit, a 3-lap 680 class race. The camera car, or the... I think of it like an official term for the driver that starts last. I usually call it the onboard car, but I can make the onboard car whoever I want it to be, so it doesn't really work. It was the onboard car in me and Tyler's series, but that's because we could only play it. That's because we were actually playing the game, not spectating it. Oh my god, throat. The focus character is Dominic DePrisco in his Countach, as he's already combing his way through the field relatively fast. For a second I thought this thing was turbocharged. No, it's that Kazuya's R32 is so whiny that I thought it was coming from the car closer to the screen. Wow, just screeches ahead of her. And 3 wide, outdrags them with ease. No panoramic wheelie shot for this time, though. Like the last time we had cars go multiple wide through there. Hammer just about negotiates the high-speed corners. You'd really think the Countach wouldn't have much of a problem with those being mid-engined, but here we are. Attempt to send it on Stephanie, but she brakes very late and stays ahead. There's some unusual players near the front of this race. It's like the first time Kishibe has really been near the front. She's been in quite a few races in the second half so far, but she hasn't really been in the top 5, or fighting for the top 5 in any of them. And these two especially, oh my god, these two have not been relevant in for some time. Violetta Vegas and Bradley Hunter have not been near the front of a 680 class race probably at all. Well, Vegas has been, but Bradley Hunter really hasn't. And got pole, which is probably the main reason he's there right now. say he got pole, like he actually worked for it. He just drew number 1. Seen as the only place where we have qualifying this championship events. Like the one coming up, episode 32. But no other races do. He might have had a too wide shot there. Okay! I get that's a big heavy Nova, but oh my word, that was slow as all hell. Seems Bagstrom followed DePrisco ahead of the TVR driver. Send it on the Gran Turismo car. Gets pushed up by the curb. He only runs Vegas off the circuit. And now it's a drag race, the one thing Hunter's car should be good at. But then we hit a braking zone, which is one thing that it's not good at. And DePrisco is now the leader. As we begin the last lap. In the background, Bagstrom and Vegas are taking off the circuit to battle for the podium spot. Very luxurious 1v1. Vegas manages to hold on to 3rd place. Just about. Maybe it's a little early in the morning for me to be commentating a video. This is not great. Not great. DePrisco already making good on his escape plan. I feel like Bradley has already kind of accepted that the win has just slipped away. But you can still keep Vegas and Bagstrom behind him. You should have top speed like that. But the Gran Turismo has great brakes, so she can just dive really late there. Oh, Hunter just backs up the whole field there. It's a bit of a ruse strategy, but it's ingenious nonetheless. They can't get a run on you if they have to slam the brakes to avoid crashing into you, which Vegas didn't really do either. She definitely slammed into the back of his car. Nice simple last to first run for Dom DePrisco here at Lago Maggiore. Home track advantage is victorious. Hunter holds off Vegas to complete the podium with her. Bagstrom, I believe, went from like 7th to 4th in this race. Biggest loser, I think, is definitely Gina and Parker. That Katsumi, who's also not shown up much, she went up a few spots along the way. And I know Suwako and that RWX, what is that? A WRX went down many places. But yeah, on to race 3. That English me, use it. For race 3 of the episode, we head to Kyoto Park's shortest layout for a 500 class race. Because I don't think we want to be running any of the other layouts in these cars, not when they struggle to exceed 110 miles an hour. Not just the best ones in the class, let alone the worst ones. Focus car is Dietrich Schwartz in his first gen Golf. As he started last in this very small grid of 14. The 500 class is, well, both literally and statistically the smallest class, only featuring 18 cars, I think. 18 or 19. So no matter what, there's no hope in heck of a full grid. And obviously you're not going to have every driver show up to every round either, so we're going to end up with smaller grids like this every once in a while. As we just had a bit of like pack racing in there, we still kind of do between Umi, Nico, and AJ. I think Nico wanted to pass on her teammate but could not find anything. The Prius again overtakes the old Prius. And Nico's also lost the place to Kochia and the Atenza. Schwartz is already up to 4th. And he's got more horsepower than the 3 cars ahead as well, so that'll help. He's a real champ under the brakes there, and just embarrasses Honoka at the braking zone with how much later he's willing to go. This chase cam is not great. Can't really even see what's ahead. I think Alice was a bit out of control just there. This is the battle for the lead, and Alice just like doors Schwartz, but he cares not. Just out-drags the S800 with ease. And now he gets basically 3 laps to himself. Let's watch the master at work. Well, he's not the master, but he's certainly up there. Especially in regards to anything made by Volkswagen or TVR. Very fast. Is there anything else worth looking at? Not particularly, no. We might actually have something Minako wants to pass on Taylor. It's a weird place to do it though, so it ends up not working. Instead she'll lose a place to Erica Roth in the Sports 800. Taylor versus Sakurai into turn 1. Shoji definitely lost that and also got passed by Roth. Look at how tiny this thing is! There would not have been enough racing room for any other car, but the Sports 800 is so small that it can make a half car width space look like 2 car widths. And it's not a joke in a straight line either. That's 105. Most cars here are struggling to break 100. Most. As you can see, Yukiko Takuchi's Cappuccino did with ease. Because that's not even the longer straight, and obviously the top cars are doing it. But, like, some of these cars just can't do that. Honekas is able to reach 100 some miles an hour when less than 100 horsepower. It's gonna be another day in the office for Jedrick Schwartz. He's gonna grab the easy victory at Kyoto Park. Several seconds later, here comes Carson for second, and Nobody else is even going to have time to finish before the race fades out. But apparently Takeuchi ended up podiuming. Yep, that's... Is that... I don't think that's correct. Before I confuse myself any further, let's just head to round 4. Great lights. For round 4, it's another 640 class event here at Watkins Glen. I think this is actually supposed to be a 760 race, but a couple of drivers couldn't show up in time. So we just said, alright, we'll just improvise, just bring out the slower cars. This is usually the most popular class of the challenge series anyway, as far as like viewership goes. Or like ratings, and this is also some of the driver's favorite categories. Usually a driver's favorite class will either be 640 or 680. Probably because of the variety of vehicles that fit in this category. As Emmy is just kinda muscling her way through the Watkins Glen bus stop to grab 2 places on 2 Volkswagens. The very wide turn number 5, I think? 6. The carousel, very wide carousel. Why did I just forget that that's the name of that turn? They were in the last race, but I like completely forgot to make any point about them. Not the last race, but they were in a previous race. And conveniently, they're like near each other, so it's easier to look at them. Trevor Graham is debuting his road car. That's Sylvia, of course. I mean, no, wait, what am I acting like? I mean, he signed up for the Group 4s and stuff. That's why I'm confused. This is technically his Challenge Series debut. He's driving a Nissan Silvia S15, designed to look like a 2002 model NASCAR. But here's the thing. So he's driving a Nissan. The paint job he's got on it references Kevin Harvick, which is a Chevy in real life. Or it was when he raced in this car. The number 40 is a number font taken directly from the Chip Ganassi racing 40 car of the same era, which was a Dodge. And if we can get a view of the front of the car, he has the Pontiac Grand Prix grille. And then we have Thrasher, who's replaced his total GT350 with his Contingency H, which he refers to also as Hammerhead, converted into an actual racing truck rather than a truck designed to kill, pretty much. Oh, and also Suwako is debuting this WRX. Not 22B, just a GC8. How'd they get that fixed in time? That's impressive. For reference, the first round was like 2 days ago. Like, in universe, obviously it wasn't that long ago for me. As Emmy gets a bit of grass on her wheels. Oh my god. Hang on to it, front wheel drive moment. Bitter displeasure displayed to Gina, and Gina's not having it. Goodbye. Oh! Oh, it's a miracle this thing still runs. This is really weird. It's like, what even caused this? Bit of grass there. She gets to the outside of Gina, and Gina just kind of moves over into her, and the grass just goes out a little bit further there. She gets a wheel in it, has to use front wheel drive in the front of Tyler's Super Bee to save it. moves Gina around a little bit, but gets turned for her trouble. Front wheel drive couldn't save her there, and yet the Integra persists. And I don't think Ibarazaki is terribly happy about that either. Yeah, one corner later, she's already back in the field, already having passed Scott Webber. Gets around Herbie, gets around Kingsley, McCain and Valentine, then one swoop. Send it on Hanamura. Mulsanne at the apex, Trevor Graham on exit, Hammerhead. Just a bizarre overtake on Joe Moore. Has to nearly spin the car out to not rear-end Suwako. Ahead of Nico. Ahead of Manuel, who attempts to put her in the grass. And we back to Gina, and she's in the grass again. Yeah, she's not happy much. Gina just brake tests her. These two are obviously not very happy with each other right now. In case that somehow wasn't plainly frickin' obvious. Oh yeah, I'm going for the quarter panel there, I missed. But you had to wait a few corners to really really take her out efficiently. There's a lot of runoff in the second half of Watkins Glen. Big nudge. More brake testing from the RX-7 driver. And here, Emmy is just absolutely blaring that horn at Gina. Definitely not treating her like the owner of the league right now. Travis, I don't know if he's trying to play mediator or if he's trying to play instigator, to be honest. But if I were him, I really wouldn't be putting myself anywhere near these two together. Because this seems like the last place I want to be if I don't want to end up with two white bumpers on my car. I don't know what that was about. Gina wasn't in her way then. She just slammed the brakes and beeped at her for some reason. Okay, Gina administers a block. And Emmy administers a takedown. Duh! Oh! And, I think that would be a red flag, but there's barely a lap to go. And, yes. After a very interesting adventure in the pit lane. I feel like I was a part of this race, for Christ's sake. We have determined that the race will be called official there. There's only 2 laps to go. There's no reason for a safety car. Anyway, or not a safety car. Red flag, restart. So, Maki Nishikino, Vincent Houston, and Kogasa Tatara are your podium finishers in this event. On to the final round, where maybe we won't have any death. I'm personally not holding my breath all too much. We are green here in the Roulette Race. We are at the Circuit de la Sarthe, more commonly known as Le Mans. And, I love the differentiation there. We have a front row of 2 high-end Lamborghini models, and then a second row which features a Dodge Viper and a truck. Taylor is pulling ahead on the start here. I should probably mention who's actually like the car focus, and it's Gina. Bit of karma, maybe. I don't know. Actually, I think that's kind of on Emmy. But you know, I don't know. It's both are idiots. Both caused something that maybe didn't need to happen. Maybe it did need to happen, depending on how you look at it. I'm very interested to see a couple of cars on the straightaway real quick. These 760 class cars are going to be screeching down this front straightaway, or back straightaway. I swear, Rise's car looks like a Duracell battery. You can't tell me otherwise. Goodbye! Oh my word. Brian Ice has taken the lead with superior top speed over the newer Lamborghini. That makes sense. Not really. Gina finds herself already taking fifth away from Charlotte Riel. Into the second chicane. And that's what Taylor's car does in draft. Rise is just 5 miles an hour faster without it. That's just terrifying. In a way, I'm kind of glad that thing's already ahead of me. Bert's ride isn't a slouch either, almost 190. Thrashers would probably have some good top speed too if he can get out of this traffic. But as everybody else, their cars are pretty low category, so I wouldn't really expect a whole lot. We got a battle for not last between Lily White and Thomas O'Reilly. I think Thomas wanted to hit her with a crossover maneuver. Reese is catching the lead Lamborghinis very quickly. Very, very quickly. Maybe Lamborghinis will have an advantage in the corners. For their sake, I hope that they do, because the Veyron does weigh quite a bit. Ever so slightly, but any time lost by Brise's Veyron in the corners, it'll probably make up even in the miniature acceleration zones in between them. Like this. Forward for even half a second and you pick up 20 miles an hour. We're through one lap. Based on the lap time, this is going to be a 3-lap affair. Meanwhile, Gina is attempting to pass me through the Ford chicanes. I'm trying to be a frickin' martyr there or something? Like a Thrasher is going to be drafting off Vert here. Teamwork. Taylor has lost track of Brian Ice. We say about ran into the back of Taylor. She's basically bump drafting Taylor at this point, but Taylor's putting their car right in the middle of the track, so the AI Rise doesn't really know how to deal with that. And maybe if you two do bump draft, you'll be able to catch back up to Ice. I didn't think it necessary for the Veyron and Aventador to have to do that to catch back up. What the hell? Oh yeah, I remember now. Gina spun on a curb. Very aggressive braking. I didn't really think it'd be necessary for a Veyron and Aventador to have to bump trap to catch a Diablo. You know, the older model. Now, Risa has definitely caught ice now. And now she will be enjoying his draft as well, which is only going to make the Bugatti faster. But Ice is probably going to just put himself right in the middle of the road. And AI, yeah, doesn't... He's not even in the middle of the road, and AI still doesn't really know what to do. Just go around him already! Or don't. Dumbass Duracell battery. Taylor is watching from a distance, just in case these two do something astronomically dumb, which, if they were humans, I would say probably, but they're not, so they won't. Gina's RX-7 really doesn't seem to like curves. Alright, okay. Thank you for that. Apparently Gina is once again demanding there be a red flag. Or just call the race instead of having a restart. You could do one lap of this track, it's 4 minutes. Let these two decide who wins instead of it being decided by you being an idiot. And deciding to wreck me over some petty expositional thing that you don't want released because you're an asshole. Some people. Gina, I know you listen to these. Fuck yourself.